Coach, you got a 2-game road trip coming up, starting with Wichita State, a game that was really close here, and then they just kind of went on a run and made some plays.
Yeah, and we had about a 7-8 minute stretch. We didn't make a basket. I thought defensively we were very good. We're going to have to do a better job rebounding the ball. I thought some of their offensive rebounds hurt us. But we got to find ways to, when we're in a lull offensively, to manufacture some points, either in transition or with the offensive glass. Obviously, I think we're playing better than we were playing back then. We're rebounding the ball better, especially offensively. Other than the first 20 minutes against Tulsa, the way we've played is much more competitive and capable of playing against and beating some of the best teams in the league. And when you go on the road, obviously at Wichita, a very difficult place to play, but our guys have responded pretty good in those situations, so I think our guys are looking forward to the challenge.
With the way Wichita State plays, I'm guessing transition defense and ball screen defense is going to be a priority because they're bigs, they roll hard.
Right, and they do a really good job of, let's start that again. That's all right. You just screwed up the entire press conference. Transition defense is number one. They really hurt us in that. And it was more in scramble situations. When you think of transition, sometimes you think of just straight layups. They hit 3 big 3-point shots against a defense that wasn't set, but we had enough guys back. We got to communicate better in that. And then the ball screen defense is always very, very important against Wichita State, as is the post defense on Enchinake. You got to do a really good job of not giving him early post position. But they're, one of the reasons that they're, in and out of the top 25 is they have a lot of different weapons. Stevenson played tremendous over the weekend. But at times it's other guys that step up. 2 young guards that are very good. And then obviously in Dennis, you have one of the premier players in this league, was on the all-freshman team. He's going to be a great player. Will go down as probably, over 2 more years, one of the best players that's ever played at Wichita State.
One of those other players, Tyson Etienne, what kind of challenge does he present to your defense?
You can't give him a sliver of daylight because he's good enough to put the ball on the deck and drive by you, and he's obviously an exceptional shooter. I think, sometimes I don't know him at all. I only watched him on film, but I like everything I hear about him in terms of his work ethic and different things like that. He's a player that obviously has made an impact in their program.
You guys have been operating on the perimeter a lot, especially against Houston and Tulsa. Do you feel like getting back to attacking the rim of the paint is key to success on this trip?
Yeah, I do. It's interesting. You play 2 teams that's really hard to score in the post and on drives with Houston and Tulsa, with Tulsa's zone and with Houston's help defense and post trap defense. We got to get the ball inside to our post players more right now, and we got to get back to driving the paint and playing off our penetration. The reason those 2 teams are having great success is defensively they don't give up those easy points. Double Berry post-ups, drives at the basket. So we got to get back to doing that and, doing that with the efficiency that we've had in the 3 games previous, where we were doing a great job of that. So we have to get back to that for sure.
A player like David Collins, who can go on runs in games, but also at times can disappear, at least on the offensive side. Yeah, especially going against the Wichita State at home, who are so good. How do you make sure that he stays involved throughout the game?
Well, sometimes, with different options and different things like that, keeping him engaged in it is, every couple plays we got to make sure, he's a primary option for us. Finding him when he's open, getting him the ball in the open court where he's very, very dangerous. And then, the one thing that we've talked with David about is just being more, even more aggressive. When he's open, he's proven his shooting percentages is down, but we need him to be in this last round of games even more aggressive. When he's open, he needs to look to shoot it. He needs to look to drive it, and be very, very assertive on the offensive end.
the fact that you guys are still looking at a 5 or a 4 seed in this conference, despite missing Alexis Yetna for the whole season, does that give your team confidence going into these tough games?
Well, I think so, and I think they also take a look at, we've played now everybody in the league, and, we feel pretty confident in where we stack up. I think there might be teams a little bit better, and we might be a little bit better than some, and we're probably equal with a lot, but now you need to go and prove it on the court. And gaining some momentum in these last 6 games heading into the tournament would be very, very important, and to really be playing our best basketball. I thought we played very well for 4.5 out of the last 5 games. We had a terrible half against Tulsa, no question about it. And that was more so on the offensive end. Defensively, we were pretty good. As poorly as we shot, they shot worse than us in the first half. We just had the turnovers, which contributed to it. And I thought for 40 minutes, we battled and competed very well against Houston, and obviously won the 3 other games. So it's really important that we continue on that upward trend with our performance and our energy level, and following the game plans and the discipline to our system. And if we can do that, we'll be able to get some wins and head into Dallas feeling pretty good.
Yeah, this is potentially the last matchup you'll ever have with UConn in this conference. I know they're on a downswing right now, but you should talk about what they've meant to the AAC and what the impact of their move is going to be.
Well, when you think of UConn, it's a national brand, and the only thing that I would say is, they won their last game. They have lost an incredible amount of close games this year, overtime games they've had leads in, and some of it has to do with the injuries. When you lose Polly, he's a weapon for them. He gives them a dimension that no other guy on their team gives, and that's hard. You don't have someone just to fill in. And now losing a Cook as well with his injury, it just puts him in a difficult spot. But with the guys they're playing, they're as good as anybody in the league, and they've proven that with the games that they've played. Understand why they would make the move with their tradition and history in the Big East. It's disappointing. But they've been a great member of our league, winning the national championship, different things like that. And I have an unbelievable amount of respect for Coach Hurley as well and what he's building there.